Hello, Finance Committee, Gail Weiss. I am the chair, and we should announce off our attendance. We are down one tonight. Morgan could not make it.
Dan Campbell present.
Bernie Parada present.
Lindsay McCarthy present.
Robin Vandermatt present.
Okay, and it's 6:01 p.m. Okay, I hadn't seen any minutes from March 9th, March 16th. I guess our board.
She was off last week.
Right, okay, so I'll put them back on again for next week, and if they're there, they're there. Okay. Review of the FY '27 budget, are we still going? We still have
We want to
any?
get this.
We haven't voted on the sewer or the EMS enterprise funds yet.
It's up
To
to you when
recommend?
you're gonna do those. When
To
you
recommend.
did the recommendation on the. full
On the
budget.
capital.
Did you do the full budget for the?
Yeah.
We did for
Yeah,
sewer, we
just
did
didn't-
both.
Yeah, we just haven't gone through full recommendations, I don't
Okay,
think.
okay.
We,
That will be what, in
The
another,
individual articles, when you get the warrant.
Right.
You kind of recommended
Yeah.
the budget as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We did.
recommended the budget, and we also recommended the list of capital that we had in front of us.
Right, for the-
Included one was the sewer, was at
right,
the
so
bottom
I
of
know
the list.
sewer, yeah, because I think we did both,
Because
yeah.
you wanted to go to your Thursday meeting.
yes, so we've got
Right.
everything recommended except for that.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
we've-
and the other thing was the capital, we were waiting for information on the quotes for the decking.
Yeah, and I haven't received them yet. I haven't seen this week.
Okay.
Last week, the end of last.
So we
since
can't
last
vote
Well,
on it yet.
better
Yeah.
get them in, or,
Technically,
So
yeah.
the only thing I think you can do that if you want to start getting things rolling would be not to exceed on
Well, I
something
mean,
like that.
I'll tell them that you're still looking for that, but I'm drafting the warrant, starting to draft the warrant now, so
Okay.
that's the next thing you'll be looking at, you'll be able to go article by
Yeah.
article at that point.
Yeah.
May I ask a question about the capital one? And my apologies for not being here last week. I have a question about the police cruiser. Because when I look back, it looks like we basically get one every year.
every 2 years on average, isn't it?
Well,
Yep.
there's a whole bunch that, because they were running on 5, although they've asked me to do an 8. You'll hit a bunch of years in a row, and then there'll be a year or two you don't, and then you
Yeah.
hit them again
Yeah.
because of the way they roll.
When you say they rotate in 5?
They
Yeah,
were rotating
ex-
on 5.
But if I remember correctly, he explained that these are hybrids, so they should last longer. And you guys were talking about maybe not doing every 5, but every 6 or
I
7
was
or
gonna
something.
redo the schedule, I have a note to redo the schedule with
Yeah.
like 7 or
Yeah.
8 years.
But
This is-
it's
this is
the
That would
last,
spread them out.
it's the last new car they're gonna ask for a while, because rotating out the old stuff and getting in hybrids, which should last a lot longer and get more
And-
bang for the buck.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's 2 years, but this is replacing a much older vehicle, is that correct?
Yeah, it was a 20 or 21, 20.
21 or
Did
so.
he go from 5 to 4 because he gave one of his cruisers to EMS?
Well, they got a new car and gave the old one to E EMS.
Yeah. So I guess that was my next question. How many cars do they have?
5. I think.
5.
Yeah,
How
because
many
he's
do
gonna
they
keep
need?
this one, yeah.
This will be 5 is what he says
Well,
they need.
that's what I'm
He's
asking.
not sure they're gonna keep it. He said if it needs
Okay.
anything, they're getting rid of it. But sometimes they keep it till it
It
goes.
works.
They won't put any money into the old one. But sometimes another department needs it or something.
Right.
happens.
No, I guess I'm questioning, why do they need 5?
That's a question for the chief. I mean, that's
Yeah.
traditionally what they've been doing. They have, I think there's at least 3 or 4 assigned and then one that part-timers use.
So that would make
For
it
full-time.
4. So
So
that
each-
fifth car is like, they may or may not be able to keep it. If they keep it, it ends up probably being their
Right, so
decoy.
it's really 4.
Right.
Yeah, because they
That's
do
the
park it
decoy
every,
one.
so,
So there's 4
Yeah.
in the.
And one of them is, the chief's car is a take-home car. That's his,
I think the sergeant is too,
sergeant is also, yes.
'Cause
So
they're
2
up.
of the cars are take-home.
because they're on call like
24/7.
time.
24/7.
So
They
that
respond.
leaves 3 available for routine
Yeah.
patrol.
Two
Okay.
plus
2 at
the-
least, plus
the old one that
the old one, yeah.
sometimes rotates off before because they won't put any money in it.
Gotcha, okay, I just couldn't remember that, and I keep hearing Bernie's voice saying, we gotta be thrifty.
Yeah, and I think we
So-
were gonna do the schedule over to up it to 7 or 8 years.
Try an extra year rather than.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome, because it
least
basically
that-
feels like
yeah.
it's every,
Yeah.
Well,
at
that's
least
what
when I look
happens
back,
when you
it's
space
been-
them out and you have 4 or 5, then it's gonna be
Yeah.
almost every year except for like one gap year, and then you're back.
Yep.
At least the hybrids should be cheaper in gas.
They're
That's
cheaper on gas, but they're higher in maintenance
Yeah,
costs.
yeah, that's true.
Because they're more
Depending,
complicated.
depending if something
Yeah.
goes.
Their reliability has not been,
Huh,
from our experience, it's not,
I've
it's,
got a hybrid and it's been great.
I know.
yeah.
In 2021, now I don't
I
drive
got
it like they do.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
a nice,
it's-
I've got
it's
And I
a,
don't have an enhanced alternator
Right.
electrical going
Yeah.
like they do.
Yeah.
Because that's the big problem in these cruisers, is they have a high electrical system because they're running all this electrical
right,
equipment.
They have
yeah,
a laptop, they have a radio,
The
they have their
lights.
radar unit, they have, some of them have cameras in the cars, so there's a lot of drain on the vehicle.
And the lights alone.
The lights, I mean, that's why they have high output alternators, because of all the
And
demands
the
on it.
88 is just for the car, right? Not for anything to deck it out.
I'm sorry?
No, that will be.
No, that's for
full
everything.
vehicle.
That's the full
Complete.
thing.
yeah,
for
that's
everything.
complete.
Yeah, that would
Thank
be
you.
complete.
I think he's gonna move over what he can, and then if he has to.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Was that the only question you had?
So,
So
getting
we-
back to the town budget, the only thing we need is
The,
the decking.
the decking, and we haven't voted on the EMS enterprise yet, have we?
Thought we did both enterprise fund, enterprise.
We did the capital,
We did, and the vehicle.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
vehicle,
okay.
yes.
Too many pages.
Yeah, now that I remember, we did sewer, decide just to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
have
just
no,
don't
I think
remember
my
the-
notice that you guys hadn't voted on
Yeah,
the Pioneer,
at the school I know we have.
and you were deciding how you wanted to do the capital stabilization. Whether you wanted to do 4 or 5, and if you're taking some from free cash and some from the tax rate. That was another.
Yeah, because we looked at some of the capital projects and we didn't recommend, and we're going to try to pull those from, that's another thing we want to bring, because we did not recommend a couple of things that were on the capital list.
I contacted Highway,
Okay?
and I told him what you approved, what you didn't approve, what your thoughts were based on the discussion, and that if he wanted to come in to have a discussion about any of those, you were open to rescheduling him.
Yep.
He has not responded that he's interested in coming in at this point. But I
Okay.
told him that you would be happy to
Yeah.
have him
Yeah.
come in and talk about those things if he was interested.
Okay.
So do we have a time, an open space for that, maybe next week or what? 'Cause
If he
we're,
wants to come in, he hasn't responded that he does, but
Okay.
I'll recheck one more time. and
Okay.
tell him
I mean,
that.
because it's more if he
Yeah,
got a, especially with the UTV, if he's got an issue with that.
Yeah, it was the UTV and the, his capital stabilization request.
Right.
and our thought was we're going to have one capital stabilization fund
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
other departments could draw from that
Right,
Yeah.
rather than have all.
to
these
Everybody have
costs.
a-
help offset cost of other equipment.
Yeah,
Great.
Is it reasonable that we give another week for that capital for the decking? Will that give you enough time to do your, the paperwork you need to do, or are we here at the end of the line here?
no, I will put it in, but it's probably not gonna go to the printer till after your next meeting. So Monday is the wrap up.
Does that give you enough time? Does it give- Okay.
Yeah, because I'll have
Give 'em
just
one
about
more week.
everything
Yeah.
else done.
I think we're being fair, given them.
That gives
Okay.
them another week and DPW to come in if they want
Okay.
to.
Yeah, the highway.
For those two items as far as that.
should I put something down, like 6 o'clock for Tom Walker? if he
No,
wants?
I'll let
Okay.
you know. Because if
Okay.
he doesn't wanna come in,
Yeah, I don't want to, if he's okay with what we did.
right.
And you'll
Yeah.
you'll probably hear, obviously, from, the transfer station if they're gonna have that paperwork into you, so you
I'll-
can schedule,
I'll-
probably talk to you and schedule that if it's available.
Yeah, because I gotta get that out.
Yeah, you gotta get the agenda
Yeah, I'll
out.
probably start working, get it done tonight, send out you
Because
guys.
there was a dollar amount that they had in there, and that was, I don't have that. in front
What
of me.
is it for the decking?
15.
15,000?
15,000.
Decking's
Yeah.
So if it doesn't exceed the 15,000, they don't, I don't believe we'd have to bring them in. If it
Okay.
exceeds it, then I would bring them in. Is that fair?
Well, it'd be nice to have quotes.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the quote,
Yeah,
the quote.
Okay.
If they get a quote and,
and it's under,
it's
Yeah.
under,
Yeah,
then
because
we
the funds
can-
are, because
we
it
can-
goes to free cash, right?
Yes, anything
That's
tonight
if
is
you,
good.
that's if you appropriate it. He
Right.
wants to talk about it before it's appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because I mean, that, if you use the free cash, it's out of, for a whole year,
Right.
you don't have it available to you, rather than, because you have to
I'd
encumber
be
that.
okay with saying if it doesn't exceed 15.
Yeah.
We can like tentatively, yes, as long as,
I would say that would be fine. If it exceeds the 15, then we bring them in
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
explain it and, justify, that's all.
Okay,
And it may be materials have gone up or whatever, but
yeah.
you can't just throw a figure out there without something kind of backing it up.
yeah.
Like,
So the other thing I need to know is, you had talked about how you wanted to, you had, under the annual town meeting, or the articles tab, when you didn't do the 75 for highway, you went back from 4 to 500 for the capital stabilization. And there was some talk we were gonna still do 100,000 out of the free cash and do 400 on raise and appropriate, like, so shift that 75 to 100. I mean, that was
Yeah, that's-
the
I
thought
think-
process.
yeah, that was the
Okay.
thought we had last
just
week.
wanna make
Because you
sure that-
typically put in, what, 400,000 at one time for the,
Up to 500,
up to
well,
500, so it is already part of raising the.
actually, the
appropriate,
500 is
yeah.
going into.
Was it for the
articles in
I
front
thought it
of
was
me.
for
No, that was in
the
the
EMS building or something?
Into the capital stabilization,
Stabilization.
correct, because you've used it both for the building and for.
Yeah, but that was specifically set aside, but it
No,
wasn't.
not when you were, capital stabilization was capital stabilization.
Okay.
You then pulled it out and specifically set
Okay.
it aside, so that's why
Okay.
that number has gone down some.
Yeah,
And the idea was to build
Build it
that
back
count
up.
back up for
Okay.
all
Yeah.
capital needs.
yeah,
Yeah, with the thought of what we're putting in the capital, we could use, if it's the same amount, use for borrowing if need be. So that
Yes.
it
Yeah,
would
a
stay-
combination,
So that
yeah.
the tax rate would stay relatively stable,
Fairly stable.
not an up and down, but stabling across
So
the
I'll
board.
make sure that it reflects the $100,000 would be free cash, and then the 400,000 was going to be on the tax rate.
Okay.
For the full 5.
okay.
Because the other option, of course, is you could do 4,000 and do 1 and 3. I mean, that's up to you guys.
I think we should retain it at, the 400,000, was that, what'd you say, 400,000 will be raised and appropriate, 100,000 will be out of free
Out of
cash.
free
So,
cash.
okay,
Yeah,
make it a,
because we do have some major capital needs, what we know, there's a fire truck in a couple of years and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so are you
yeah.
gonna make a motion on that, sir?
I make a motion that the Finance Committee recommend that we have, for this capital stabilization, $400,000 to come up out of raise and appropriate, and $100,000 to come out of free cash.
Dan Campbell seconds.
Any more discussion on it? Okay, we ready to vote on it?
Dan Campbell says yes.
Bernie Parada says yes.
Lindsay McCarthy, yes?
Robin Bennett, yes.
Gail Weiss, yes.
So what else do we have, boss?
And then just the school one,
Right.
the 83,000,
We
or
were-
23, because you wanted to talk
Yeah.
about it on Thursday, so I don't know what your,
I know that we had a bunch of people there,
Yeah.
and the consensus was going through the things are getting out of hand. Burson is in the red quite a bit because of their budget, and Leiden isn't that much far behind them. So we had a very long and lengthy discussion as to do we support the other two towns with their dilemmas. We are in the same boat, and looking at what was just presented in front of me, or in front of us,
Yeah,
we're looking at a decreasing population and increasing budget. So,
For the last 20 years.
true. So, there was talk that maybe the finance committee would not recommend the school budget and leave it up to the taxpayers and the voters of the town of Northfield.
we were gonna write up a list
Yeah.
on why,
Of our reasoning.
of our
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yes.
And this is a very good,
Yeah.
And that's why I
Yeah.
proposed, let's hand them something as they
Yeah.
come in, so they can digest it.
I do
Yeah.
have one
And-
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, of course. And then actually also give a statement, a shorter statement at the time that it comes up.
No.
You know what might be impactful with your pie charts or whatever? Doing a pie with raise and appropriate, that would really, because that's coming, that's when we open up our tax bills. This is where your dollars are going. And just do raise and appropriate, the free, yeah, because we're doing 400 with stabilization, the town.
I would use different terminology. People aren't gonna know what raise and
Or
appropriate
Right.
is.
taxation, or call it from
Yeah,
tax.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing,
I-
it's
my-
just, you live that, you
Yeah,
know.
but call it taxation.
Yeah,
Versus
Yeah,
available
this,
funds.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly, or
Yeah.
something very,
yeah, this
Well,
portion of your tax is going to here, this portion of that.
yeah.
And,
yeah.
well, that's what you've done here.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
she's
That's
got,
what you
she's
got.
got a combination, because like the sewer enterprise fund, that's paid by the users,
Right.
right?
Well, maybe we kind of take,
But
I
there
mean, it's
is
good
a-
to see the total.
But there is a
Yeah.
portion of EMS that's being asked to do raise and appropriate, so you,
But that's
Yes.
in the
Break that
budget,
up.
isn't
It's
that
the
in?
assessment.
Yeah, I can do that again as far as like, this is a big picture of what our budgets look
Yeah.
like. And I can definitely do that. And this is how much is gonna be the raise and appropriate or tax.
Yeah, when you open up the tax bill.
and you know,
So, and I-
I can, if we have these, I'm happy to work some of that in here as well, even though you want to do a presentation at the info session, because I'm always looking for a way to do this as well. And I know there are some, there's the chart, raise and
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
So I
Different
have
color
done
code,
that
right.
in the past
okay.
with, and this is by benefits, this is by our like groupings, general government, public safety, education,
That's
so.
good, yeah, that's
I mean,
perfect.
So-
that's
that's a
what I'm
good
already-
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
already kind of getting done.
And we're gonna do this again with,
Right, that's why I can't do any of these numbers until you guys are done, because I can't, I want to create the pie chart.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So the
But
thing
I'm
is,
happy to add, like, I don't know if you're okay with, I might ask you to send me some, because I might incorporate some new language.
yeah, absolutely.
And put something different, because I have a whole school section,
Yep.
so some of this information might be,
And I plan on having a lot more information before next Monday, so if
Yeah.
I can send it to you, you can be like, I want that and that and that. and
yeah,
that.
no, and this is another whole part that talks about, CPA sewer, so that's another chart I'm happy to put in there
Yeah.
to give another example of a breakdown, to give people a look on the omnibus, and
Yep.
articles. The more I can put in there, the better, and then present it still, because not everybody's gonna look at
Right.
that book.
so
Yep.
Robin, what I like about this is just the town omnibus. This has nothing to do with the school.
Right.
Correct? Now, if you could have a similar thing showing the school, what has happened with the school, going the opposite way, I think.
That is,
What
that
you're
is
working on?
step two.
Okay,
This
step two.
was step one.
Okay,
This is gonna lead into step two, because I think we need to deep dive, which is why I sent out the email with I have questions. Where can I get this
Yeah.
information?
Did you get,
Well, the other thing
can-
too is, I
I-
think it's
I can
important
find that. I
that,
just
I
was
sent you
looking
a link,
for, you sent me,
which is
it
fine.
didn't, it didn't come through as a link.
What did you do it?
It was, it came,
Weird?
yeah, it came through as a literal link, like to file on C drive. I'm like, I don't have access to your C
It's like all my
drive.
secret files.
All your secret files.
Oh,
Nice.
geez, that's cool.
Let's show.
Oh,
Well,
But
it's-
that's how it came through here.
But I'm happy to, but I'm
Like
happy
it
to,
pasted
any,
the text to her. I'm like, well,
anything you finish up in this week, I'm happy to include
Yeah.
any of this information in any of the sections that I, look in the book and tell me, this would be great to replace this piece. Because
Okay.
I don't wanna do the same thing over and over and just change the numbers.
Right.
It's nice to give new,
And
fresh
visuals,
information.
yeah, and visuals really will help bring it home. My whole point
Yes.
was,
Don't make them.
I want the people who walk in to be able to look at that and go,
yeah,
wait a
Whoa.
minute.
Yeah.
yeah.
What? Well, I tested on a small sample today. I'm like, I need you to just look at this and tell me what you think. And she was like, what is all this? Excuse me? I'm like,
Didn't
thank
know.
you.
Yeah.
That works.
Yes.
Because now you're waking
Yeah,
up
so
and you're seeing that
if
this is a
you-
bigger thing than
If
it
you
looks.
wanna add something in that book and you see a section,
Yep.
feel free to say, hey, take that section out, and put this section in.
Okay.
I'm happy to have you contribute to that, because otherwise it's just me writing it, and I'm tending to write like the same thing over again, because it's hard for me to come up with a new
Yeah.
concept while I'm writing lots of sections.
Right.
So I'm happy to include something new,
Okay.
and even in the school section, I'll change the charts and data over, but I'm happy to put in a whole new chart.
Right.
It says, hey, take a look at this. And you'll see
Okay.
how we've presented the school enrollment in the past and everything, and
Yep.
maybe it needs a new brand look.
Yep. Do we have colors that we really like? I'll need to know that in an email.
You got all kinds of colors?
I had to sit there and tell my daughter, I'm like, I'm going to say his school name, and I
Okay.
need you to tell me what
So-
comes to mind.
Yes,
So,
should be the one to have.
back to the capital for the school.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's the parking lot, the
Right, the
emergency
s-
lights.
Window shades,
And the
window
carpet
shades,
tile,
and the
kitchen grease,
carpets.
this is just for PVRS.
Yep,
Yeah.
for just the high school.
Because you guys already voted to recommend, I think, the NES stuff.
Yep.
Right,
We
yeah.
did.
But the question is,
Okay,
just
so
wanted to know what your, and it's on raise and appropriate.
did we get over discussion on $25,000 for them to use and then the carpeting and painting or what?
Yes, you have both in the budget.
I know.
Yep.
You have 25,000 in the school section.
Yep.
Which is where it's always been. And then
And then
as
the
an
23 for the
article,
flooring.
there'll be 23,000 for the floor and the carpet. And that has usually traditionally come from free cash because it's considered a capital for your building.
Yeah.
Where it differentiates with PVRS is that's for the high school, which is the district's building. So traditionally, all the district costs have gone on raise and appropriate and not out of free cash, traditionally.
So do we
Like
do
their
both
budget.
those out of free cash or just one out of free cash?
Well, no, the
25,000.
school article 25 is always raise and appropriate because
Okay.
that's your whole
Okay.
school budget.
Yep.
That's been it'll be tech and PVRS operating, and then it's NES capital and the tech capital, which is 11,000 something. Those
Okay.
four have made up, and technically the fees, the $500 or $1,000 for the stipends for the school committee that they never apply for. But those have always traditionally been raise and appropriate. That's like your school article that you created. It used to be in the
Okay.
omnibus,
Yep,
pulled it out.
Okay.
Then capital specifically for NES has traditionally been, because it's your building, has traditionally been done out of free cash, those articles.
Yep.
And then capital for PVRS has also gone as a separate article and has traditionally been raise and appropriate. I'm just going on tradition. You could do that out of free cash, you'd have to fund something else differently.
Yeah.
But that's up to you how you want to manage the funding of that, whether you recommend it, not recommend it, and how you want to pay for it is really
So
on you
how does
guys.
that, if I'm not mistaken, we vote their PVRSD's capital separately than their operating? But they
Currently-
don't think of it separately, right?
Right, but in the assessment letter you get, they have to break them
Yeah.
out. Because your current
Right.
agreement does not include the two together. Now, the new agreement they want to sign, they want to put your capital in your assessment, and then it would be one number and that would be it. But right now, those are two separate asks.
Yeah, that was the
And although-
biggest
So-
ticking
Yeah.
point.
What happens if the town votes down the capital but accepts the operating? What happens?
They get the operating assessment and you've said, no, we won't pay that portion of the capital.
Okay, okay.
So we have time as far as doing
So
that,
we
once we
can't split
put,
those
because
out.
they're two different articles. We don't
Yeah,
have to
it
make
will
a
be.
decision tonight,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we want to think about
Because I know
that.
they look at it as
Yeah.
our budget, so.
Yeah.
okay.
So I mean, technically you
I'm-
don't have to
I'm-
vote
yeah.
yes or no on it. I just want to make sure that if I put it in the budget, I'm putting it in as raise and appropriate and not a free cap. Like how are you want to make sure you're funding it, proposing to fund it the way you want to fund it.
I'm just
So-
going to put out my unpopular opinion and say, whether it's the 3-town or the 6-town, everybody's going to be using that building. We should keep it maintained. We should fund
Which
this
building are you
83.
talking
The
about?
PBR's
Pioneer,
building.
yeah.
Oh, for the capital.
The Pioneer,
for the-
the,
for the-
the,
for
top-
the-
the
Oh, I think we
PVR.
should fund it, but there was never any discussion about any of these items, which some of them look a bit ridiculous to me. You know what I mean? They're just throwing it out there as, this is it, take it or leave it. And we don't have the opportunity like we did with the other capital to discuss any of it.
Well, the other thing
That's
is too, is
my
we're not
thing.
getting any invoices or any information on, like I said, as we've seen for others, like the library, a door, we have a
Right.
clear,
Right.
cost involved. They're giving
They're
us
just saying-
like, they're
yeah.
giving us estimates,
Yeah.
but nothing to.
Based on what?
Based on what? That's the question.
That's my problem.
And they
I
haven't
agree.
presented anything.
So,
I don't want to be accountable.
let me ask
for the
this.
town.
If for some reason they do it for under their budget or whatever, do we get the money back?
No.
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 That's another problem.
Yeah,
So we
'cause-
paid
No,
for
now-
it, and they could,
Yeah, no, this article, if you vote the article,
that's the money.
that's the money.
So if they get a dish sprayer for $300, they get to pocket the rest of it, is that what you're saying?
Basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think that's cool. Personally.
Well, the other thing too is, if we don't recommend it, the residents on the town meeting floor, if they feel that they don't care for our recommendation, they can vote for approving the capital.
They
And then
can, for sure.
Yeah.
it's
But
their
I don't think
decision.
they know this stuff, that's the
No,
problem.
but
That's what
that's
we're
why
trying to
if
fix.
we
Yes.
don't
What
recom-
happens is, what if we decide that we're not gonna recommend either one of those? A statement like this will have to be read as why we do not recommend. So, this would be something that I would say, I'm looking at it and say it's perfect for what our rationale is.
I just want to hit the big
Uh,
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we might tweak it a little bit more, but,
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely,
I
it's
would,
just
and I
a,
agree, we should take care of our properties, but
yes.
a priority right now, I think, is, well, the elementary school for one.
Yep.
And you look at some of the things on that list, they have more to do with the exterior, I think, don't they? And or
well, yeah, window
blinds, yeah,
shades, but I
blinds.
mean, that, if they get, they could be like for energy efficiency or the
Yeah, if they're
glare.
trying to control the heating
Yeah.
costs or the cooling costs or whatever. And I know that's one of the things,
I mean, grease traps are expensive, and I know, they would.
That's fine.
be
I think of all the
pricey.
places they're gonna try to, I think of all the
Yeah.
places they would try to be overinflated, I don't think it would be the capital project.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Did you read their study?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, there's stuff in there that's just crazy expensive for no reason.
Well,
So,
the other
but
thing
you're-
is, we can not recommend and say clearly, we never received any
Information.
documentation to show the need and the estimated
The exact,
costs
Yep.
of these individual projects.
Because that was gonna be
Simple
my
as
next
that.
question, they didn't bring that up when they were here, right? They didn't say anything
No.
about upcoming.
They
This
always
came
just
later.
slip it in, they always do.
They didn't present, this came later after the initial presentation of their
Yep.
budget.
So let me ask you something, again, on capital things. They have, what are some of the things on there? Just give me one example.
All right.
Repaving the.
Okay, repaving,
The parking lot.
okay, they don't, all of a sudden they said, well, we're not gonna repave that, we're gonna use the money for
For something
something else.
Yeah.
Can they do that?
I assume that if this gets voted, as traditionally the capital projects have for PVRS, they will send their assessment letter that they send
Yeah,
4 times a year.
Yeah.
And I don't remember whether the capital is split equally among that or is all up in
Well,
one.
I know
But it'll
Amber's
come on
telling
the
us twice a
assessment
year.
letter. So
Yeah.
no, we don't.
yeah.
For NES, if out of the 25,000 you vote, those projects go through me. So I see
Yeah.
all that, we pay that directly.
Yeah.
That gets
That's cool.
invoiced. The carpeting and the gym floor as an article will not. They'll ask for that money, but the carpeting, they have traditionally shown those receipts and they'll go right up as close to the 10 as they can. And so I'm not really worried about those
Mm-hmm.
two. These, I don't anticipate I would ever see the invoices
No, you
because I
won't.
haven't traditionally seen the invoices for the capital for the high school.
So in
It's just
theory,
not
they don't
traditional.
have to do it, I guess.
Well, then,
What
you'd like
happens
to
if they
maybe
don't?
have a little bit of an oversight, okay? Okay, is the project done? We'll come over and inspect it or come and see it, make sure it's done. That's not gonna happen.
Or asking them to provide the contract for the work to be done.
Yeah.
Or.
Ask them
a
to
cost
send
estimate.
contract.
Where did they
yeah.
get these numbers? That's all I wanna know. Where'd
Yeah.
you get it?
So, we're late in the process as far as doing that, and the only thing I can think of is if the finance committee would like to have that happen, I would say that in the future,
Yeah.
if you have capital projects as far as doing that, we would like to see some backup
Documentation, yeah.
Yeah.
Documentation.
Documentation,
They-
that's how you agree with, simple
Well,
as that.
they did for NES. Do you remember when he bought the new walk-in cooler?
Yeah.
Jordan provided 3 quotes.
That's because it was NES and it was us.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when they were doing the awning, we
Right.
saw the quote for that. The new door that got fixed, we saw the quote. So NES, who traditionally, now they didn't for the gym floor, but it's 13,000, so it's probably. But they never did for the carpeting because they would use as much of that as they could to get as
Yeah.
much work done
Yeah,
as
oh,
they
it's
could.
understandable.
For 10,000. But we did traditionally get
I'll reword
the
that.
quotes or the cost estimates for the NES projects.
That's great.
We have traditionally seen that.
So I'll reword
So, but
that
you're okay
piece.
if I leave it in the budget as raise and appropriate? That's what I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to know,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can get the
Yes.
budget
Yeah.
piece.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanna get the
Let the
budget piece
the
settled.
residents
Yeah.
have a say over that
You guys
issue.
can vote yes or no when it comes back to you
Of
as the
course.
warrant.
Yeah, we can't do
finally.
anything about it now,
No.
but we can always
No.
say we don't recommend it, and I'll
Right,
put
because the
some
warrant will
of
come
that
back to
in.
you before it's printed.
Yeah,
Okay, I just wanna make sure I have these going the right way for the budget piece, so when you guys see the total spreadsheet, you're looking at the way you want it.
Yeah, we really can't look at line items that easily. We have to just look at the bottom line. and
Right.
Either
Yeah.
approve or, or, yeah.
Oh, I
Not,
get it.
we don't
Yeah.
approve it. We, what's the term?
We recommend or?
Recommend.
No.
We recommend or
Yeah.
not recommend.
Yeah, because schools, you just give them a sum of money and hope and pray for the best.
Think of
Really
it as
have no
another town
control,
running
yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of say in
Say,
that.
yeah.
They just like our money.
Yeah.
I know. But it doesn't mean we have to like it.
Nope, nope.
Well, the other thing is again, with that meeting we had, the 3-town, we just have to also let the residents know that our neighbors have serious concerns over this budget. We have one town, Leiden, says they simply can't afford this budget. And we had Bernardston say that this would lead to either significant cuts to their budget or the option of a 2.5 override,
Yeah.
which in this climate today it's questionable if that would pass.
So if
But
it-
again, if two communities say, do not recommend it, don't vote for it, we have to let the residents know that whatever Northfield votes is not gonna matter. Point blank, it's not gonna matter. It'll go back to, so again,
Well,
we're all of this together, 3 communities, but again, if 2 communities feel that this budget is just not supportable,
and it's out.
I mean, we can make our recommendation, but it's gonna be basically a moot point, no matter what happens at town meeting.
But it does send a message if we
Correct.
don't vote it.
I agree. I think it should
If
be-
all 3 of them don't vote it, it does matter.
It does matter in that,
In
but
that it sends a clear,
what I'm
message.
saying is, that, yes, if,
but it doesn't matter in terms of whether they go forward or not.
yeah.
Right, I got you.
So we'll be waiting on that once we get everything together, go over the warrant then, right?
Yeah.
The other, one comment I had is school choice or loss. You may want to mention somehow the reimbursement rate of $5,000 has not changed since the inception, was it the early 90s school choice?
Yeah,
came
and that
about?
was a question I knew, I
Yeah.
didn't have this quite right, so let me see.
It's 5,000.
School of choice, okay, so the,
School choice
school of
loss.
choice,
Yeah,
we only get 5,000 per pupil.
per pupil.
And then outside tuition, that's the one where that state decides how much they give us, right?
Yeah, and it's, both of those are, well, one of
I
them's
think-
far
I
less.
think the outside tuition
Yeah,
is what
Vermont
you
is
negotiated
fairly
in
close,
your
yeah.
regional,
Yeah,
what you
Vernon-
put in your agreements.
Yeah, Vernon, Vermont, the state sets that.
Right.
For Vermont, that's
Vermont.
state of Vermont
Right.
sets that tuition, and we have to accept it if we accept the
But it's still
students.
under what we need.
That is correct.
For
And then
Warwick is
Warwick,
what
we
they
have a
agree.
tuition agreement with them
Yeah.
for that, and
Which is
I
under-
don't recall what that amount is.
Is
that-
it under as well? Or do
Under
you-
25? I believe so.
Okay.
So for
we're
every,
losing money on
so
all
we're
of it.
losing money
Yeah.
all the way across.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
we
But I didn't know it
losing
was only
$20,000 or
$5K.
Yeah, and
$10,000?
it hasn't,
Awful.
and
Was it
from what I
51 or
understand, I
53?
mean, I'll
It's-
research a little bit more, but my understanding
It's
is
whatever it
has
is
not
that
changed.
per pupil, and that's the one they talk about every year, going
Yeah,
up
yeah.
$100 or $150 or $50 per pupil for all
But-
those minimum aid districts. That's what you get per pupil. And you're gonna get that amount when they come from another
But
district.
that's what they're selling. Our numbers are gonna be
Yeah.
great because we're getting all this school of choice.
But again, our towns are subsidizing.
Exactly.
It's,
The-
it works very well as a backfill. The
Yes.
problem
Yeah.
becomes when you get to that edge
Yeah.
Right.
where you're paying, and then other people have said, well, we've combined 3rd and 4th grade because there were 6 and 6, but now you've made it 10 and 12, and now we're not gonna combine them. But we now have to hire a 3rd teacher, and school choice money doesn't cover a 3rd teacher. So there's a lot of subtlety in school
Sure.
choice
Yeah, yeah.
as to, you know, if you've
Yeah.
got 15 kids in the class and you get 2 more, and you've got 17, and now you get an additional 10. Theoretically, that might be okay,
Or just say no.
but
you know.
Pelham Elementary's going through
No,
this
they
right
won't
now.
say no because
Yeah.
that
Have
makes
to
the
pick a
population go
choice,
down if they,
yeah.
you
They're
know,
not
if it's
taking any
school
school
choice.
But
choice?
it's
See,
still
they're using it to make, you know, instead of having
for their numbers, yeah.
10 in a classroom, they have 15. Okay, so now they're saying, oh, 15 in a classroom is good.
But that means
those
now
other
we have to hire
five,
another student, or teacher. No,
Well,
we
not,
don't.
not for 15 maybe, but
No.
it
Where's the-
becomes very tricky because,
I know.
you know, you could be
What is it, third
artificially
grade?
inflating your numbers and maybe at some point you're looking at this going, should we have one elementary school?
So here's, like, the
And
third
you've
grade
got
has
two.
9 students,
Okay,
9.
yeah.
And we have a whole teacher and all that for 9.
wait a minute, it's 9 from Northfield or is that
No,
9
it's
total?
9.
In Northfield.
It's 9 in North.
For the
yeah.
elementary
Yeah.
school?
Yeah.
Wow.
So just Northfield is 9?
No,
right?
it's,
In the
NES
whole-
is, no.
The whole from K to 12?
No, she's
No,
talking
third grade.
grade.
Third grade. Yeah,
They're
I'm
all from
talking-
Northfield, there's only 9.
Okay. Any school choice that we know of, or tuition kids in?
2. Well, no, well, she doesn't say what grades the school of choice is in.
No.
I don't think. Oh, yeah, she does. Yeah, that's 4th grade and 5th grade. There's only 2 at NES, 4th grade and 5th grade. But I guess, you know, back to your point of combining, if you only have 13 kids in one and 9 in another, why aren't you combining grades? We did that when I was a kid, it worked fine. And the idea of it jumping up to enough where, oh, you have to split it, that's got a long way to go before it gets that big.
I was teaching 25 kids,
Of course,
and they were all getting a great education, because I know they did.
exactly.
Every one of them, actually, last year I taught, every single one of them went to college.
Did anybody listen into that school funding thing that you sent the link out for? It looked like it was a whole bunch of superintendents talking
Oh, the
about
rural school aid.
how to get, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was their whole bag was, well, even though we have fewer students, the cost is still the same.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be. I just don't get why that's the case. I don't. I just don't. Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So, the yellow, let's see what.
Town administrator update.
Okay, so, school budget, what we're going to wait on, we're gonna do it next week? Are we waiting for April 2nd to get feedback before we vote on that
Yeah, and
budget?
I don't need your recommendations right away, as
No.
long as
Okay.
you're
We can
not
wait, that's
changing
why.
any
Okay.
numbers or funding
Okay.
We're gonna go
mechanisms. I
through
can do
every
the warrant,
article,
and I can do the
Yeah.
budget.
and one of them is the omnibus.
Once you
one
get the
of them-
warrant, you can then
Capital.
make your
Okay.
recommendations before we print. So I'm just saying,
Okay.
is everything set from the right funding sources so that we
Okay.
can then lay the budget
Yeah.
out in the right columns? Once,
Okay.
your recommendations can be
Yeah.
done once you've seen the warrant.
Okay. Are we going to, Franklin Tech, are we wanting to wait to
Has anyone
recommend that
seen
one
their
as well?
official numbers yet?
No,
I've
Did
seen
you get the
what's
numbers?
on
Yes.
their
Yeah,
webpage. They
heard-
have released
they
it
have it
now?
on the webpage.
Okay, then I gotta go in, because the last
Okay.
time I went in, and I had
It
to think that it
says-
was the end of last week, was fiscal 20, was last fiscal year.
So it's hard to find.
Yes.
I have it and I lost it 5 times yesterday. I had to keep looking.
So
for
I will
it.
update, I will double check, because mine was an estimate based on the number of students and what he thought it was gonna be per student for Northfield, but I wanna double check that number
Okay.
against what they were officially voting their budget. So I'll get that, you're gonna get this whole budget thing
Okay.
again for next week,
so,
but,
yeah,
Yeah.
with any updates,
Okay.
but, if you think that the fiscal 27 was finally on there, because
Yep.
the last one that was on there was 26.
Yep, no, it's the big booklet. Looks like what it looks a
Yeah.
lot like what they have for their slide, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yep, it's there.
so
So I'll
when
get
do
those
they
in.
usually send you official notification?
Yeah, because they're not a regional school district,
Right.
they don't have to follow, the law for regional school
Okay.
districts prescribes
Yeah.
those dates. So regional school districts set their numbers way earlier because the law says they have to.
Yeah,
The tech school's not technically a regional school district.
Yeah.
So they have much of March to do, whereas they're setting them for the regional school district in February. So that's why there's this difference of
probably, 'cause-
timing.
yeah, probably when I was in Orange, because they didn't set their town meeting till the end, almost the end of June, and that's probably why I'm thinking we knew what the assessment was well beforehand, we would get a piece of paper.
So, no, we'll get something from tech. If they voted it and now have it
Yeah.
online, we will get something. It
Okay.
probably just hasn't arrived yet, or I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, but it'll come,
Okay.
It's on their business office page.
business office
Yeah.
page.
You'd think they would have said you, informed you and sent
They
it
will,
to.
they'll officially send a letter.
Yeah.
Same as PVRS did.
Yeah.
They send an official letter from the treasurer saying, here's your assessment, once the school committee has voted it
Yeah.
and
So they
said.
usually have the column for their regular and then the column for their
Yeah,
capital.
so they'll
Yeah.
send all that.
Yeah. Now, do you pay them 4 times a year or?
Yeah, they also have, yes, they have
Yeah.
specific
I can't
dates.
remember for my orange
And I don't-
days, yeah.
I'm not sure if they fall, they don't tend to fall in the same warrant, so they must be slightly off.
Except
Yeah, I mean, I just paid them when they shoved them in my face.
That's what you gotta do.
That'll get.
Yeah.
I sent
Well,
you the web link for
Oh,
that.
great, thank you.
That way you don't have to try to figure out where it went.
I keep looking, but I always forget.
It's not on the page with the 2026 one. It's
No.
on a completely different, it's on their business page.
Okay. Well, that's good, thank
Yep.
you, because I've
course.
been waiting for it.
Yep.
Okay, so, update?
Okay, so we're set with that, yeah, administrator update.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
I can't give too much out, and I can't give any numbers because this is still something the select board has to vote on, but I just wanted to give you an update that I believe we have settled the pilot agreement for the multiple arrays down, not the one that's in court,
Okay.
the
Is
one
The
from.
first one. Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
one.
that the one being
one that's
built
being
across
built.
the street from the brewery there?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the,
Okay.
yeah.
There's 3 different arrays.
Okay.
But anyway, so the pilot, I believe, we have been working on it, the assessors, myself, and then it goes to the assessors to approve, and then it goes to the select board to approve. But what that is we've also settled on the amount per kilowatt that the town will start to receive. And so, can't let anything out of the bag yet.
Okay.
I just want to give you
So
an update.
when will we have the final on that?
Hopefully very soon, because we're
Okay.
waiting for the final edited document to get all written. And I just want to say that we held out pretty firm, the assessor's office, and we got what we asked for.
Perfect.
So I think it's going to be, we're not making millions,
Right,
but I think it will
Offset some of the
be,
cost.
yeah, and it's something I can't really factor in,
yeah.
but will have a definite impact on next year's revenues.
Is that
So-
when it starts?
And it's gonna phase in, I don't think they'll have everything up the first year, but I know they're waiting to build, so we
Yeah.
think it's gonna go up pretty quick.
And so maybe next year we'll see some of that
We'll
start.
see
to
some
When
of
they
that.
do fiscal,
28.
you're gonna see an estimate here, but we're gonna see a revenue. May not be all of it yet, depending on how
28.
fast they build.
Right.
For 26, no, we're gonna
27.
see
For fiscal
revenue
year
in
28.
twenty-seven.
Lovely.
Yeah, because they usually do a percentage of what's
Well,
completed or.
Well, as they go, and I think they're
Yeah.
waiting, they're pushing very hard to get going. I know they've been building the road, they've been doing, and they were waiting to settle on some final things with the building inspector and the fire chief. And that's all been done, so I think they're ready to go as soon as we see whether that's a prosperous. So that means some of it will be in '27, which will be really good, because it will help offset this. I can't predict how much that will be.
Right.
Yeah.
But
We'll know when we know.
any revenue is good
But that,
revenue.
yeah, so
But
what
then-
you're saying
yeah.
is, right, that would come under new growth and it would decrease
It'll
the amount
decrease
per
the tax
thousand.
rate.
Yeah.
We just don't know how much yet, but ultimately, it will decrease the tax rate in, I can't remember, it's a 10-year or 20-year pilot, I'd have to go look again, for 20 years. It'll decrease the tax rate. And we
So
have a
since we're
settlement.
talking about pilot programs, people have been asking if we have any kind of a pilot program with the college.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion, and we've been working on that
You
slowly.
still, okay.
Yes, it is not off the table by any means, but.
Okay.
Yes, so I just wanted to put out there, which is good, because this means the number we're gonna see here will, I mean, we always estimate low revenue anyway, but there really will be a nice, hopeful impact on that revenue number, which could be significantly helpful. We just can't predict exactly what
My
that will be.
husband, no, when we were driving back, because we go down 63 South, and on the east side, all of a sudden looks like this huge house is coming up.
No, you see the whole thing? You go in the back way or the front way? Which way do you go?
We come up through New Hampshire, and it's
63? You got
Yeah, 63.
So you go to the first and then go around to it. You see the first raid, it's about a mile long. And then you get down by the brewery, it's even,
Oh, no, that's that one.
Yeah.
But there's a brand new house that just looks like it's just starting to pop up on 63. I think it's near the Shearer's, Margaret Shearer's old house, somewhere in that area. And my husband was like,
are you
that
talking?
was just over the weekend. Looks like brand new
Ready for Libby to frame
construction.
it, so,
I
no,
know,
there's a couple of things.
on one side of the street, is there like it's actually a nut farm?
Yeah,
That's
that's on
across
the
the
other
street,
side.
yeah.
There's
Yeah,
also another,
it's
brand
near
new-
there, it's
Yeah,
near
we
there.
keep, we
Yes, on
keep
the
our
other
eyes
side.
on,
Yeah.
we keep our eyes on the building permits and,
Yeah.
and
Well,
who's talking to the building inspector, just to, just to
Oh, yeah.
keep track of, and nothing gets built small anymore, so.
No,
no,
they're
we at
still
least
building
have,
the big houses.
we at least have 3 houses, I believe, in town currently
Yeah.
under construction.
Yeah, and then
Burnham, there's the one over by across from the camp, near the campground, and this one on 63.
Speaking of campground, do you know anything about that?
All I know about that is I believe they have their well settled with DEP. That was the big holdup because they wouldn't give them their septic from the Board of Health until they had their well approved by DEP. So from my understanding is they have that, which means that hopefully they'll release that, which means that we will also see that new growth this coming year. So we're hoping there'll be some new growth this year to really, that will be very helpful.
Has their septic design been approved or not?
Well, they're
Well, they have
holding
to
it
wait.
until
They're
they
holding
get
it,
their water.
okay, okay.
They're
But
saying you need to
everything's
have
ready
your
to
water
go.
approved by DEP.
Okay.
Well, I think they've submitted it.
Right,
I don't technically know whether
Yeah,
it's good or
yeah.
bad, but I think
Yeah.
they are in the works on that and they're waiting for the
Okay.
well to be.
But
Because
once-
DEP has to approve the well because it's not just a home well.
yeah.
No,
It's
Oh,
a
no,
public
yeah.
water server. so.
Yeah,
Well, the advantage too is that once this thing is up and running, I think that hopefully the townspeople will be more amenable to bringing in a room rental tax, because that would also bring additional revenue to the town itself.
It would.
yeah.
Yeah, people have to understand that tax is not on the people, it's on the people coming in and using the facility. So
And
it's
it's not
coming
gonna,
from
and it's not gonna
outside
drive consumers
sources.
away.
Yes.
No,
no.
And every single establishment in this country just about has that tax.
Yeah. It's not something unfair or.
No, it's
No,
not.
to the-
It's a small
And
percentage.
it doesn't have a real effect on the residents, it just helps out that we get additional revenue that helps the town and the tax rate.
Yeah, not coming out of
Yeah.
Well, and
taxpayers'
you have to think about it in
pockets.
terms of the support services you provide
Sure.
to that rental, whether it's a hotel or a motel or a bed and breakfast or the campground. I mean, if there's a call, your fire truck goes, your police
Yeah,
truck goes.
right.
Now, they pay some taxes, they pay taxes as,
Right.
an entity, but if, if a visitor is there and needs an ambulance, we send our ambulance. If they need if there's a police call or a fire call, because of campfire, we send our fire truck. So, the idea is that we support those businesses we support, the roads. We have to keep those roads available to the, so, that's the idea behind asking
and
people who are
again,
visiting to help support them.
People don't understand, they're paying a meal tax now, and it's the citizens who are paying most of that meal tax.
Yeah.
Every time you go and have a cup of coffee, and you're
Yeah.
paying that meal tax. So
That always perplexed
that
me.
is coming out of the
Yeah.
taxpayers' pockets as a town. The other one comes out of somebody that doesn't even live here.
Yeah, it always perplexed me that the residents were happy to vote, were willing to vote the meals and beverage tax on themselves, but have not been willing to vote the room tax on
Yeah,
visitors.
yeah.
But,
Yeah.
there's a different thought process
You
there.
take a vacation on the Cape, you take a couple of nights
Anywhere
in
you go.
Boston, it's like
Yeah.
19-20% because they have all their other taxes.
There's
yeah.
about 4 different
Yeah.
taxes, yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of new taxes out there.
Yeah.
Well, the one
um,
good thing too is I want to say it's good that the town is hopefully successful with this first pilot, because it sets the
Yeah.
standard,
Yes.
sets for future, if once this legal issue is resolved, that you have a roadmap and a standard that can
Yeah.
hopefully apply to the next
And I've asked
solar
for some
array.
from some other communities that have schools in them, so I'm looking at some that are have been implemented in smaller communities, because you want something, you don't want the Boston's pilot for Boston College.
Yeah.
You're looking for something small that's, you
I
can
know
work with. as much.
Shrewsbury has a couple of them.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
also just, So on the 30th, which is your next meeting, I'm hoping you'll be able to see your draft warrant. That'll be the first one.
Okay.
It may not be finished, there may be some placeholders.
Okay.
It all has to get reviewed by legal
Okay.
as well. And a couple things that we're gonna put in there. And then, to remind you that April 7th, which is a select board meeting night, is right now on the calendar as the night you guys would meet
Right.
with the select board to kind of hand over the budget. So the next meeting is really kind of the one where you want to make sure that you're good with your numbers so that you can
Okay.
bring them to the select board for the 7th, because they're gonna vote to close the warrant on the 31st, which is after your next meeting. So they'll
Okay,
close the
so-
warrant at that time. So there'll be no more submissions. Everybody who wants to get anything in technically,
So,
we have not received
yeah.
any, would have until the 31st. And then the
Okay, so
warrant
we should,
closes.
probably focus on the same topics for Monday, the 27 town budget or omnibus budget, the school budget. Do we still want PVRS capital in there, or are we
Well,
all?
we're gonna go over, are we going over the whole,
Then you do have
Warrant.
April 6th.
Okay,
If you need that meeting or want that meeting, that's the night before the joint meeting with the select board. You may have it, you may not, I don't have any
Yeah.
agenda on there, but if you find you need another meeting after the 30th, which you may,
yeah,
you still have that night, and then the 7th is generally the joint meeting with the select board to kind of say, okay, here's our recommendations as a board.
okay, so we have, not the,
The
not looking
30th,
for the recommendations complete next week, but the following week, you want them.
yeah, well, it's
Maybe
up
the
to
5th.
you.
Isn't that the 5th? Is that the 5th?
You have the 30th and the 6th.
The 6th,
okay.
okay,
So we're meeting next week, the 30th?
yeah.
Okay. And I'll, keep it pretty much somewhat the same
Pretty much.
agenda? And do we want to keep PVRS capital in there, or?
Do you want me to reach out and see if they have quotes? that
See if
can
they have
send
any
us?
kind of estimates as far, yeah, if you
Okay, I'll
wanted to do
leave it
that,
there,
that would be
yeah.
great. I mean,
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if they have documentation and they can send it to us.
yeah, if you have documentation.
It's their benefit.
I think
Yeah,
Taffy
well,
send
is-
it.
She's out.
Oh,
Taffy's out?
She's out until April 21st.
Who's out?
Because I reached out
I
for
guess
the
Gretchen.
Is she
Northfield.
already?
Yeah.
Who's out?
I reached
Who's
out about the
Kathy.
Just
building
make
committee
CC
thing
me.
and
But I think Gretchen is the next person to
Gretchen?
reach out to then, because she's the facilities person. If Taffy's out, I don't know who's doing, how they've assigned the work.
Yeah, if any kind of documentation as far as doing that would be great.
okay.
Yeah,
Good idea.
Okay,
But
and
feel
we,
free to throw me in on that one, so
Sure.
you know that.
okay,
Okay, so that's really it, so I just wanted to remind you of those dates and so you can get your sense. But I don't, other than that, I kind of just wanted to make sure I was on board with your numbers being okay and sources, so I can kind of finalize what the numbers are gonna look like. And then you guys can go from there on what you want to recommend, so.
I have one more question, excuse me, Andre. It's because the reason here is that it's been on next door, forgive me. The issue of the transfer station, they're looking to potentially demolish parts of it. Is that gonna be on the current fiscal year's budget to do that?
Won't take a minute.
I have not, I mean, if they're talking about taking down like the old shed, because they have a new
Correct,
shed.
because of the infestation,
It
yes.
takes about
Yeah.
2 seconds to do that.
Yeah, again.
That'll be,
Plus
they
it's
haven't
also
asked, they're not
disposal
gonna,
of it too, so
they haven't
it's
asked for any
money.
additional funding to do it.
yeah,
So-
so it'd be mostly the disposal of the materials more than anything.
Yeah, that's the only thing, is
Yeah.
do they have enough money out of this year's budget, or they're gonna?
They haven't asked for anything, so.
Okay,
I'm
all right,
assuming-
that's fine, that's,
Assuming that maybe they do, depending on how much they have to get rid of, maybe it's not
Yeah.
all that expensive, and they do have some money in their budget for various.
no,
Yeah,
I agree.
we can't really discuss something we don't have any knowledge of.
Yeah.
No,
so,
no, well, I'm just saying that, I have no, like I said, I have no problem with tearing it down or that, that's the
Yeah.
minimal expense, I'm just saying it's mostly with
I'm
the
just wondering-
disposal. I just wanna make sure that it's not a last minute drop it on us, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
assuming
well, they're gonna have to dispose of some of it, because they're gonna rip up the existing deck there, so they're probably gonna take it all at the same time if they're gonna do that.
Okay.
And if that's included in the $15,000, I mean, it would take them
Yeah, the deck will be different.
3
because
hours
that'll
to,
be-
Yeah,
or less,
That'll
so.
be on next year.
well, again, if it's any information that would help us,
Okay.
Or
great.
anything extra that they, for like pest control, sounds like they've got a really bad
Yeah.
rodent problem there. And what would it take? Well, I'm sure you'll never be able to fully get rid of it, but,
No.
Well, yeah,
Can
you
you?
can mitigate it a little bit, but.
yeah, can you mitigate it? And,
Yeah, I'm assuming he does.
I mean, I don't know.
I lived in New York City, so.
Huh? Oh, you? Yeah,
Yeah, you go through any city, you see those boxes sitting there. What is those? My wife didn't know. I said, well, go look. It's probably a rat in there.
Oh, golly.
Anything else that we need to know about?
Unless you have questions.
No, not at
Ready
all.
to
I
move
don't have
on?
anything further.
Appreciate
Okay.
what you're doing, though.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
Get together.
That's a lot of work, to keep,
fun
especially keeping us straight, 'cause
No, you guys.
I'm all over the place.
You guys are
sometimes.
good. You guys are good.
Okay, briefings on meetings attended by others. We were all at the
Yeah, we're all at
school.
All three town, yep.
Yeah,
And again, the consensus was we got to do something. We can't just
Yeah,
put our head in the
in the
sand
sand,
and
yeah.
the school budget's done that.
And again, the stuff that I'm seeing in front of us, you know, the other departments are doing their best to keep actually have reduced their budgets except for one area, whereas the other has not. And I think it would be glaring when you put side by side
Yep.
to see where, you know, we have control more over the general omnibus of the town.
Yep.
Not really control, we have more of a say. When we don't have a say, that's where it gets real hard to recommend.
And, you know, in all fairness, health insurance is,
Yeah.
I
is
saw
a,
that
a
on-
killer this
It is.
No, it's
And
in
it-
all
yeah.
communities surround, are
It's
all
just-
complaining
Yeah, they're
about
all-
that. They're all,
yeah,
have seen
that's true.
significant
And there's gonna
increases.
be some adjustments to the health insurance, but I don't lay it out when I send you the email. Little up, little down, and,
Yeah.
but because we got sort of got the final percentage voted. So,
What
So-
what was it, about 14%?
point something, yeah.
So that will
She
be-
just gave me she just came up and spoke to me today
Yeah,
with the new numbers, so.
I thought I saw
And we're
somewhere.
also a little concerned about the senior one, we hadn't really put in, and that rate goes up January 1.
Fun, yeah.
So we didn't put anything in for the mid-year increase, and there's sure to be one. So we're gonna adjust that up a little, but based on what we have, we're gonna actually adjust the other one down a little. So it'll be a change when you get it, but it's not gonna be like dramatic.
Stark.
Yeah.
The number in there is pretty good, and I think EMS is already fine, and we've already made the adjustment to drop to 1 for wastewater, because they're gonna go with part-timers. So those have already been somewhat adjusted. I'll just make sure that our numbers look good for both of them. But, so there's nothing dramatic, we'd already kind of upped it.
Right.
And we were not adding any full-time positions this year.
No,
No, I
I mean,
think
we
it was
have
a
some that are
part-time,
filled, I mean, highway, he's
It's
still
just
technically.
flip-flopping, is
Yeah.
that?
Well, I mean, he talked about doing some part-timers and not doing a full-timer.
Which
But
is,
we haven't seen that move yet either, so, but we were looking at maybe putting that out as a part-time position, 2 part-timers, because we have some people he has some people he thought might do a couple of days a week each, but then you don't have the health insurance, so.
Right. They know what COA's just adding a
only-
part-timer.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's unbenefited, so,
Yeah.
no, I don't think there's any new proposed positions adding.
There's only the one
Well, the
part-time
one
for the council
part-time
on
for the
aging.
council on
Right,
aging.
but they
That's
don't
it.
get met,
That's
they
the
don't.
only one that's come
benefited.
It's not
before us.
benefited?
Yeah,
That
non-benefit
was
position.
19.
But
Was
we
it
do have
19
some
hours?
changes in retirees.
Yeah, 19 hours,
Yeah.
he does it, I think
So
it's after
when
20
he
you get off for
retires,
benefits.
you know, we hire for someone for her, so you will see an increase in
Yep.
retirees, so, but that's not as much as a full-time,
Right.
so. So there's that kind of shifting, but there isn't a proposed position.
So, speaking of that, we're going to take a step back because briefing here. The positions, have you had resumes and things sent in for secretary and for we don't, do we do the senior center?
The senior center position is done by their council on aging.
Okay.
So they will bring a recommendation to the select board, but like the library, we as the town hall, when I say
Yeah.
we, don't participate in that process. They do
Okay.
their own screening, hiring, and they'll bring a candidate forward. But they, I have seen at least 6 or 7 on Indeed. Now, I didn't look at them because I don't know how qualified they are, because
Yeah.
that's not, I would say, for Sandra's position, 45.
Wow. Qualified though?
No.
No, I was gonna say.
No.
No, and I just
I
got the
think-
final rankings today from the people participating in that, and we had 7 or 8 that moved to be ranked, and I just sent out to the group, I think 3 look really kind of good, but I recommended they do the next 2 down as well, do 5, because 3's a little skinny in case someone doesn't take it, or, but looked like, we moved about 7 that looked fairly qualified.
I had a chance to look at them, and I was probably supposed to respond, but.
No, Amanda did.
Yes, and we had a discussion about the whole project, so whatever
So I have
we
Amanda, I
came
have
up
Bernie,
with.
Beth, myself, we've ranked. And it's pretty interesting. I mean, I give them a score sheet and I say, just rank your top candidates, and then I always add up the totals, so the lower the person is, the better. Because if you give them a 1 versus
And there's,
a-
from what I was reading, there were some very good candidates too.
there were some very good
Only-
candidates, and it was
yes.
like, there was 3 of them that were like 6 through 11, and then it dropped to 20.
Well,
Like, there was a big
It
gap.
happens, yeah.
So between when you total up all the scores. So there was some pretty good consensus in the top candidates.
Oh,
So
good.
hopefully one of the 3 will work out.
Yeah.
But we do have probably 5. We're gonna start
Yeah.
looking to schedule
So-
interviews next week.
Next week, okay.
Yeah, it's good, yeah, it's good to get some sort of consensus going.
Yes, so I have to reach out now
Yeah.
to people and say, I'd like to schedule an interview, but I gotta get the schedule together with the people who are gonna do the interviews. Make sure we can pick a night. But I would like to do the top 5.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
a
then-
good number,
then
so
get it
it
down
might be
to
2
3.
nights.
Top 5, then
Then go down
1
to
or 2 or 3,
finalists.
yeah.
Now, does the select board do the final interview, or who would, which is the committee?
There'll be a screening committee,
Yeah.
that's the wider committee,
Okay.
and that's done executive session,
Mm-hmm.
not open to the public. And then the finalist interviews are open to the public, and we usually drop that down.
Yeah,
So it usually drops down from about 5 people to maybe 3 of us do the final interview.
okay.
And the way I've always done the interviews are, the first interview, and we're just gathering questions, because we've never done this position before. So I'm creating because you have to have everybody the same questions, it's a standard thing.
Yeah.
The first question is, we've always done the first round, qualifications.
Right.
Skills for the job. Could you do the job? Right, so once we've kind of established that, then the finalist is, are you a good fit?
Right.
Like, who are you as a person? Are you a good fit? We ask you more questions like, what are you most proud of? Like, doesn't have to be work related, like try to get a sense to know them. So once we've determined you can do the job, your skills look good, and we move you forward to finalist, you're a good fit for us and for you. And that's kind of how we gear the 2 sets of interviews to be structured. So that's what we'll do. And Sandra's not part of the process. I always tell people should not be part of the
Right.
process to hire their replacement.
Nope.
It's not good form, it's not good, it's not good. So, I mean, she's collected them and handed them to me, and peeked at them and gone, oh, but she has not participated in any of the scoring or ranking or interviews. She will not participate in
In
any.
Orange is on, I thought it was weird, because I was on the screening committee.
Yeah.
And I think we did some basic, which I thought was weird too, they wanted me on there, but with the basic, because I'm so used
Yeah.
not to, but it was in Orange. But of course, the select board had the final interview.
Some towns do the select board as the final interviews,
Yeah.
some do not. This select board, a few candidates ago when they were doing highway, decided they did not want to do that anymore. 'Cause it's hard, it's in public and it's on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to conduct, even though the second set is public, it's not on camera, so you have a little bit more leeway. But some select boards like to be the finalists. So we've always put select board members on it,
Yeah,
but they have not traditionally done the interview. They didn't do me that way.
So,
I always interviewed 2 groups of people.
yeah, that was gonna be my question. When you bring in the finalists, do they also get to meet other department people, or a little broader than just the committee?
Well, I tried to do the broad one as the screening
The
committee.
first one,
right.
okay.
A
The
bigger
first-
group of people review the candidates and pick the candidates, and then do the first interview. And then
So the
usually,
broader one does the first interview?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
includes some
generally-
department heads
Yeah.
that may have a lot of interaction,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
and then the second
Yeah.
one generally does, the select board and myself and the department head generally do the final one. That tends to be how it goes, but. So anyway, so we
Good luck.
did have a
Good.
lot of interest,
Good.
but it's, I think we have some very strong candidates,
Good luck.
Well, good,
so we're
good.
hopeful.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, great.
We'll start reaching out to them this week, so.
Okay. So any other meetings attended by anyone else in the last week? Okay. I see no public. Whoops, you have something, Lindsay?
I lost my thing.
Oh,
Oh, no, we won't be able to hear you.
My little hit came out. My question is, do we want to do anything with the bylaws? I noticed that you
Oh.
sent it as an
But it's not on the
attachment.
agenda.
I thought-
I'll plug it in on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. I just wondered if you wanted to.
Okay.
next
Yeah,
time.
and I'll just
I
have
think we had it
I can
almost
have it on the draft
complete.
warrant and then.
Okay.
We almost had it complete last week, I think. We
I
had,
think I
Yeah.
sent you the lawyers.
Right,
part,
Yes.
right, because the lawyer
Which were
had
minor
reviewed it.
and technical.
Yeah,
Not on
I
content,
don't
more
think
on
I saw that.
technical.
yeah.
So
'Cause
you've already reviewed that
well,
piece?
yeah, what we did, we eliminated the, being on dual committees.
That
So-
was gonna be my question, because
That
the one
was-
that
that
you
was gonna
sent, I
be-
thought- I
yeah.
thought
Ben,
we-
did you see it in your packet?
Yeah,
Yeah, those
So-
were there were some tweaks about
Yeah.
what committees you could serve on, and then the lawyer wanted how you were gonna rotate them on.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
Because
That-
otherwise, if you had
that-
voted to do it, everybody would have been off the finance.
Everybody
committee.
would have been off.
It was boom. He said, no, you
Yeah.
don't wanna do that.
so is this the updated one that you sent out, or no?
Yeah, it should be.
Because it
The
says
one from-
members may not serve simultaneously on other elective town boards.
They wanted to take them off any elected. boards.
elected.
So you can be appointed, but not elected.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like if you had an interest in the historic commission,
That's fine.
you could still
I
be
see.
on
Appointed.
it, yeah, be
But
appointed.
remove
Gotcha.
the elected.
It removed what happened with.
Right, with
Yeah,
Dan,
yeah, and, or planning, or you wanna
Yeah,
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 okay,
keep it
silo
as-
the elections.
yeah,
excellent, okay.
So if anybody has any, you can put it on I'll put it
Yeah.
on the warrant the way that is, but
Right.
you've still got time before they sign it to tweak it
yeah,
if there's any
because I think
questions.
we didn't want to discourage appointments.
Do we want a sentence that clarifies that then? To say they may serve on,
Appointed?
yeah, they may be appointed to other ones, but not,
No,
not
they
the
may be
elected
able to
ones? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'll put it
To
on
me,
this way,
it's-
you
Okay.
can still tweak it, 'cause
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah,
gonna
if-
sign the warrant
Yeah.
until
Okay,
a future meeting.
Okay.
But that way you can look at it in print and
okay.
see how it goes.
Perfect.
Okay. So, let's see, any other comments, public, otherwise?
Nope.
Okay.
Just so you know that I'll be there Thursday for representing the finance
Oh.
committee for the sewer treatment plant
Thank you.
visit. I'll be there Thursday at 11 a.m.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they were
Is
doing
it
like a
thir- is it-
walkthrough.
It's over there It's over
Yeah.
there at the
Because they have a
facility.
1 o'clock.
Okay.
A 1 o'clock.
And what,
meeting.
they're doing a walkthrough for
They're doing a
bidding purposes?
walkthrough and briefing, so that's why I'll be there.
Is
Okay.
this for the project?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
And-
walkthrough for the construction project.
And that's the money we
It's
voted
Thursday,
last.
11 a.m.
That-
Yes.
If I'm available, I might go.
Yes, the town voted 150 and
Okay.
we got a grant for 240.
Okay, and that's for that, was that for
For
the
the
electrical
new master
panels?
electrical panel,
Yeah,
yes, and
okay.
they have a walkthrough for anybody who's gonna apply for the,
Right, so
construction.
review, okay,
And I'll take notes so that I can brief the members
Okay.
of the, what transpires.
okay.
And I kind of panicked last week because I heard that tech school was down because their electrical was out.
Yeah,
It was only down for a day, so they were able to fix that and come back. But if you remember the discussion we had when he was here, that they had one
They
that
said their
was,
electrical
they're
was-
all in
Yeah,
50
they're
years
pretty
old
bad.
and need to be replaced. So
waste, yeah.
that kind of was worrying me because I have 2 grandchildren over there.
Mm.
So.
Oh, do you?
And they would have been homeschooled for that. And they didn't want to do that.
No,
No, grandpa homeschool?
Well, no.
well, I think after COVID, I don't think anybody wants to,
the homeschool.
yeah, they don't have to. I know some parents do choose that, which is great, but some parents, it just wasn't quite voluntary. I didn't get any correspondence. Nope. And items not reasonably anticipated within that last 48 hours, I haven't seen anything. And the next meeting will be March 30th. Again, I'm gonna be coming back from Maine again,
Yeah.
but I should be, like I said, I was home by 2 o'clock today, so we should be back in plenty of time. So are we okay with I'm just thinking, do I need to put the review of the bylaws on the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Just look at what the new version that came out.
okay,
Yeah,
It's very simple as far as doing it. It's not long, not difficult.
yeah,
It says what we need to, or what you guys need to say.
And that's the one that you got in the packet, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
The
I'll
thing
send it
is,
again.
I
If
think
it's
it's
on,
fi-
I mean,
no.
I send you everything that's on the agenda if it's on the agenda.
So-
I try to,
So,
on the bylaw,
yeah.
if it passes on the second or the first,
the 4th, 5th.
or whatever it is, the first of May, isn't it? May 1st?
I'm coming, I think it's the second,
No,
because that's when I'm coming back
Oh,
from
the second.
Ireland.
March,
yeah.
it's, town meeting is May 4th.
May 4th.
So May,
Oh, no, yeah, it must be. yeah,
So,
so they are coming
May
back from
5th.
Ireland,
If,
yeah.
if that passes, that
Tuesdays.
automatically will eliminate me.
yes,
Okay.
just
That's
day
what
after
I-
town meeting, yeah.
Huh?
So as
Well, that's
of that day, you're done?
Yeah.
Or to the June 30th?
Technically, yes, that would be technically.
No, what he, see, I think that, I spoke with the lawyer.
Yeah.
So because technically it goes to 5,
Mm-hmm.
and he's elected on the 5th, right? Or no, your term expires?
My
I don't have to
term,
look
my
at the
term actually would have, June 30th,
You need to resign,
as of that
Okay.
day.
Okay,
and then
Okay.
the board will be 5.
okay.
But is there anybody, I didn't look through, I don't, is anybody else
I'll
due
check,
this
to
year?
have her check the terms.
Is any-
who's up.
you
I
know?
think Morgan's finishing up a
Yeah.
term.
Morgan's
So
finishing up
she's
a
gonna
term.
get-
Okay.
She'd stay on
So
until
she would stay on, she's
Yeah.
here until June and she can be reappointed
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the moderator.
moderator.
Probably
I
should probably
just-
get working with
But I
the
think you, because
moderator
it cuts to 5, I
to
think
get
you'd
some
have to resign.
candidates, see if there's anybody that would like to join us.
Well, 1, 2, 3,
You'll have
4,
5.
We'll have
5.
five, okay.
Yeah.
But I know, Bert, I know you said you really wanted to,
Well,
He's
I'm
gonna
gonna,
finish the term.
Yeah.
I'll finish the term, you know,
Yeah.
that's
That's
my
next year, right?
intention. I just don't forgive me for saying, I don't recall when my term expires.
I'm gonna get all the terms.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
could, I,
2030.
yeah,
You're a lifetime member.
oh, yeah, I'll be a white hair by then, really white.
What?
Yeah,
So I just want to let you know that that will happen. So I'll have to.
I think you have to
have my-
resign.
Resign?
yeah,
Okay.
If it passes at town meeting, you should put it in for the next morning.
Yeah.
okay,
Probably. Then the board will be 5.
okay.
Didn't we have a discussion about making it 6? At one time?
We did, and then what would happen there, I think,
I don't think I vote unless
And you
there's a
don't vote
tie.
unless there's a tie.
is a tie.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that?
I think you wanted to go to an odd number.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
we wanted to go to the odd number to be similar
Odd
to
number.
the select board and other
Yeah.
things that
Okay.
to
Yeah.
prevent a tie from
Yeah,
occurring.
but also with 5, a quorum's 3, so we can
Yeah.
still hold meetings as long as
Yeah.
there's 3.
Yeah, otherwise you have to
Typically
have
with 6,
4.
the quorum's 4.
The quorum would be 4 if you have 6.
Yeah, that's for 5.
So now it's 3 if you have 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there
tried,
have
Dan,
been,
I tried.
although recently you've had some interest, there have been periods of time where you've had 2 vacancies.
I'm gonna say, I think that was the other side of it, is just making sure we can fill the vacancies, because
There was
Yeah.
a time.
Well,
when
that's
it
one
was
of the
2.
reasons why I hung in here a little bit too. And
Right.
I actually
why
had
I
to
was
twist
trying
his
to-
arm.
Yes.
Had to twist
Yeah.
his arm to come back in, so.
Yeah.
Now,
You may
I just
be
wanna
twisted
say-
in the future.
no. I just want to say that I feel really good with the group of people that are here, that I'm not going to worry about not being on this committee. You guys are all very experienced and ask the right questions and do the right thing. So I feel my job is done.
I mean,
I
you
know
can still
sometimes you
hang
get a
out.
poke at me
Hang out
and
in the
say, oh,
audience.
don't forget to.
Well, that's, I mean, realistically,
I appreciate
I've
it.
been doing it since 2004.
Yeah.
Was when I was
That's so
appointed to
valuable.
this.
That
So
experience.
I was gonna ask you how many years you've been on.
yeah, quite a few. And
Yeah.
I learned from Lois,
Yes.
Yeah.
who was the rock of the finance
yeah.
committee.
Yeah.
And I feel really good. Anybody here is very capable of being on the finance
Yeah.
committee. Actually, more so than I've seen in years past too, because you guys are really top notch.
Yeah, everybody seems to ask the right questions
Yeah.
and
And with that,
We'll try to carry
Oh.
I
on.
make a motion to adjourn.
I
Second it.
Okay.
You're so fast at that.
I'm slow.
I know she's gonna, so I just do it.
Dan Campbell says yes.
Bernie Parada says yes.
Linda McCarthy, yes.
Robin Vandermeer, yes.
Gail Weiss, and it's 7:14 PM according to that clock.
Good
It's
night.
not- It's not bedtime.
Perfect.